30. Check.
Danny Brown XXX review. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people been requesting this. You know what I'm saying? I gotta represent D-Town. My boy Danny Brown represent real well on this album, and I wanna kick it off with FIFO first, see what you think of the album.
Man, Danny Brown's tight. I listened to it. You know, the whole time I was listening to it, and I don't know how y'all motherfuckers gonna take this, but if Mike could rap and be as sarcastic and as witty as he would be, he'd be just like Danny Brown. Like, he was hilarious on the album to me. He was funny, he was sarcastic, he was witty. I liked him. At first, I didn't think I was gonna like him that much because his voice sounded maybe like he wanted to be like funny or comical or something. But I don't know, like his voice threw me off at first, but then, you know,
Danny Brown.
Yeah, it's Danny Brown. So I liked it. You know, I got over it. Easy, real easy. He could spit. I like him. And he's funny. 2.
What was in particular that you liked about this album? What kind of did it for you?
He just had really funny lines. You know what I'm saying? He had a couple.
I didn't think anything was funny on this album.
Really?
This album was actually really serious. In comparison, the majority of the album was about his drug use and was about, like, it really introspective. I didn't really find that much funny about this.
I loved it. I think, you know what, if this was if we were a week ahead, if this album would have came out a week before we did our top 3, it would be in my top 3 easy. It would be my top 3 easy because it's really, honestly, I had difficulty listening to the Game album for the review because I was listening to this album so much. I mean, I really, really love this album. And a couple of things that I really loved about it was I loved the darkness of it. You know what I'm saying? Like the songs that had the dark, grimy, gritty type feel to it, man. It was, I think the second track, Die Like a Rock Star, love that track. Yeah, Detroit 187. What was it? Right after that, it was Radio Song. No, not right after that. Pop's Blood. Pop's Blood was hot. Right after Pop's Blood, Radio Song. I love Radio Song because it was a jab at the radio. But if you listen to that song, though, if you catch the beat, right, you catch the beat has a real mainstream appealing sound to it. And he was just going in.
On the radio.
I mean, he went in. Yes. Yeah. So
and that's what I was saying. Like, you know, the poem style, a satire. You know what I'm saying? That's like a sarcastic poem, right? That's how I felt like about that radio track. Like he was even using people's flows. And he was calling people out. He was calling people out, and I found that funny.
Was clever. You thought that was clever?
I thought it was clever, funny, and witty, and sarcastic.
I think the other song was right after that was Lie For. I thought Lie For was cool. I like the flow he did on that one too. But again, it had kind of like a mainstream type appeal to it, but he was still just going in. And
that's Danny Brown.
Yeah. It definitely has a different sound to it than the Hybrid. And I particularly like this album a little bit more than the Hybrid. But another song, I think my favorite song on the album has to be Blunt After Blunt.
I don't really have a favorite though.
It was tough.
I don't really have a favorite. Like, I think. What?
My boy.
Yeah, you was talking loud as hell, man.
Sorry, man.
It was tough.
He's trying. He's not even as loud.
What the hell, man? But yeah, I thought as a whole, man, the album was dope, man. I mean, I already knew what to expect from this artist because I've been following this artist for a minute, man. From his Detroit State of Mind mixtapes to now, man, Danny Brown always been raw and ready and clever, man.
No, go ahead.
You're just telling me to shut up. Talk to Mike. But no, I was just going off just saying like pretty much what I thought about the album. It was great. From the first listen I got it to the 10th listen I still got it, and I was like, okay, yeah, this dude is ready, man. And I'm looking forward to him and Black Milk doing the EP together, man. I'm really looking forward to that. And I'm just at all. The album is just dope, man. Check it out. Check out his back catalog too, man. If you haven't checked out the Hybrid and Detroit State of Mind mixtapes, check him out. Gotta represent my Detroit artists. I'm happy that we give props to Detroit artists because I be a little nervous and shit. I be like, okay. I be like, oh shit, we about to do a Detroit artist, man. I hope this dude bring it because I know how we gonna be. So
you only been down really on one Detroit artist though.
Yeah, big shot. I mean, it's obvious, big
but,
shot.
You know how we are, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. That's why I be like, okay, this is my hometown. Come on, Detroit. And when Danny Brown, when I listened to this album, I was like, yes, this dude delivered, and he did it well. You know what I'm saying? All right.
I don't got no points.
It's been about 35 minutes since y'all even got it. Yeah, man, I love the album, man. I thought it was great. I've been a big fan of Danny Brown's for a while. Like B said, I loved his mixtapes. And this album was completely unexpected for me because Danny Brown is usually, he's not as introspective as he is on this album. This album kind of shocked me because he was just real. From start to finish, he was just like, this is my life, that's all you're gonna get. And he sounds like a dude would expect, like you would expect somebody to sound like when they're just on a fucking ton of drugs. He's spastic, but at the same time, he's so fucking dope because he stays on beat, but at the same time, he's like a little bit off beat, but it just sounds so fucking good. And it's like, this is the first time I've heard anything that Danny Brown has put out where the way he rhymes, his style went perfectly with the beats. Perfectly with the beats. Like, this album to me, he sounded like somebody from like the Far Side or some shit. Like, he sounded like he could just fit right in with those kind of dudes where he's just like, just spastic and wild, but you know, yeah, like B said, I couldn't really give a favorite track, but I would like to point out the unbelievable dopeness of the track 30. When you put that track on, listen to how many different flows he uses on that track. It's fucking crazy. Like, he is just like you would think it was a different person the way Danny Brown is. Like, you would listen to the album and think he had a gang of features. Because it's like he has so many different styles and so many different flows that's just what I really have always appreciated about Danny Brown. Is he's a unique MC, man. No one else sounds like this. And to have
easy. Huh? It sounds easy, like it's not forced, like it's just
it's not forced. He just sounds real.
That's Danny Brown, man.
To sound like that, to sound like with his kind of voice, like you said, his voices take a minute to get used to. With his voice and his flow and his style, to talk about the stuff that he talks about, to talk about being from Detroit hoods, you know. It's not what you'd expect. You would expect, you know, I don't know, man. I love the album. I almost wish this album cost money. Because like, I want to pay him for this album because this album deserves people's $10, $15, $20, more than fucking Watch the Throne does. This album deserves your hard-earned money.
He didn't have no special guest appearance. Yeah, he could have had Guilty Simpson. He could have had Fat Killers on there. He could have had Black Milk, but he didn't. He didn't have none of their productions or nothing, man. Like, some of the producers on there I've never heard of before, but the production was just so precise and so well, man. And I love when an artist come out with an album or a mixtape and it's them. Like, don't have, you know, 1,000,001 features. You know, yeah, like I said, he could have had a whole bunch of Detroit artists, well-known Detroit artists on this album, but he didn't. He kept it Danny Brown. And I like how he kind of put the XXX, meaning like he kind of had a couple of little pornographic type of lyrics, but he also kind of spoke about him as being 30 because he's just turning 30. So I like how he broke that down in this album as well, man. That shit was dope.
I just like I like genuine artists, and this is by far one of the most genuine guys. You know what I'm saying? Just listen. It's him. It is nobody else. If you never heard of Danny Brown before, this is the first time I heard of him. First time I was introduced to him. The shit's great. It's amazing. And I will check out everything else that he's done because he's that good. Like, I want to, you know what I'm saying? I want to see what got him to this point because he's hot. He's hot. And if you listen to this and you can't get that from that, man, that, you know, it. And I'm not saying that everybody should love this. Everybody has different opinions and stuff. But at the end of the day, man, this is hip hop.
No, you know, I think, you know, probably not everybody will love it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not really for everybody. I know you say that a lot. Yeah. But, you know, at the end of the day, you know, everything you guys said was definitely on point. But let me tell you, the man just really, simply put, he put together some great songs. The music, the lyrics, everything just meshed really, really well together. The music was good. And with that, he gave you every single thing that you guys just said himself. You know what I'm saying? He was real. He was to the point. You know what I'm saying? And I think that to do that, you can be real and give people what you want and yourself. But shit, if the music doesn't back it up.
Exactly. And he definitely backed it up. He definitely backed it up.
To really pay attention with this album, and a lot of people will go on and on, like, you know, people like Wayne will just go on and on about their drug use. And if Wayne put an album out about his drug use, it would probably be all about partying and fucking chicks and all this shit. Danny Brown doesn't really do that. He tells you, like, flat out, I am hooked on shit, and this is just a part of my lifestyle. But he doesn't go on throughout the entire album making it sound like it's a glamorous lifestyle. Exactly. When you get to certain songs like Die Like a Rock Star, he's fucking real about it. He's like, look, this is the way things are, but at the same time, you know, they're bad too. Like the one track about the girl that's hooked on drugs. I can't remember the name of the song now. But the one song about the girl that's hooked on drugs, where he shows that there is a downside to being hooked on this shit too. He's admitted in interviews that he's hooked on certain things like Adderall to keep him up to do rhymes. Adderall Admiral, and that's a dope song. So he talks about that, but he's not really encouraging everybody to go out and get hooked on drugs. He's just saying, this is my life. And that's what I appreciate about this. I wish more hip-hop artists did stuff like this. Don't talk about all that Chris bottle popping that we don't want to hear about. Talk about yourself, man. What are you really feeling? What's really going on in your life? Talk about that shit.
Rap about your income tax swag.
That's what I'm saying. Like Danny Brown is so funny, sarcastic, and witty, and you don't really get that from a lot of hip hop artists now. Like he's really witty with the shit that he's saying, and like C-Town said, he does not glamorize the bullshit. He's just saying this is me, and either you gonna like me for me or you don't. I like that shit. I respect that,
Man, Linwood and Joy Road, man, represent.
Anything else?
Keep putting out good music, man.
Say that one more time.
Lyrics so real, I think I wrote them in Pac's blood. Told me in my dreams, these niggas is not thugs. Please, Danny Brown, keep making dope shit like this, please, because this is what we need.
Niggas try to front like I wouldn't know that. But guess what, bitch, I'm coming back. Guess what, bitch, I'm coming back. Santa Flo's go, everything is on.
For everybody in Atlanta, DOS Races, Danny Brown, and Despot at Center Stage, Loft, October 5th. Please make sure y'all come to that because it's going to be absolutely amazing.
One more time, where?
At the Loft, October 5th. Danny Brown, Despot, DOS Races. Make sure y'all come out to that.
Better, you know how you is, you the greatest rapper ever. So now the pressure's on to prove that voice right. Some people never knew they goals knew my whole life. So now it's turns up. Fixing up to back, pitching singles to the label when I used to pitch crack. I never learned to rap, always knew